My wife kicked my mother out of my apartment. I am a 27-year-old male and got married to my 28-year-old wife last year. Since the beginning, there have been tensions between my mom and my wife. My mom, a 47-year-old female, raised me alone as a single mother. My dad was an alcoholic and a terrible person. She left him when I was 2, and at that time, she was pregnant with a second child but chose not to have it. So, it has always been just me and her. My mom worked multiple low-wage jobs to raise me and even paid for my college, which used up all her savings. Once I started earning a good income, I bought my first apartment. When I got married, my wife was initially okay with my mom living with us, as the apartment has 3 bedrooms and could easily accommodate her. However, soon after the marriage, my wife began to have issues with my mom living with us. She told me that my mom should move out or she would force her to leave. For the sake of my marriage, I agreed with my wife. I rented a nearby apartment for my mom and somehow convinced her to move there. It was uncomfortable for my mom, who had never lived alone, to adjust to doing everything by herself, but I persuaded her for the sake of my wife's happiness. However, problems arose when my wife got upset about me sending money to my mom for groceries, medicine, other bills, and rent. My mom can't afford to live in my area as it's expensive, and she doesn't have much in the way of savings, so I was supporting her financially. My wife argued that my mom is extended family and that it's wrong for me to fund her life entirely. She said my mom should work and earn her own money because she is still young. Another issue was that my mom, living alone, would call me 2 to 3 times a day. My wife said this was excessive and that my mom should find someone else to call. Even my wife's mom and sister confronted me, saying my mom's toxic attachment and reliance on me for financial support were affecting my relationship. They suggested giving my mom a month's notice to find work or move to a shared living facility on the outskirts if she couldn't afford to live alone. They also said she should limit her calls to me to once a day and that, for emotional support, she should start dating and potentially remarry. Reluctantly, I agreed with my wife. A month later, my mom got evicted from her rental and moved to a shared facility in a shady neighborhood with 3 other women, some of whom have questionable backgrounds. She's doing all this because she doesn't want my marriage to fail. She cried to me over the phone. What should I do? Is my wife right? Is it fair for my wife to prioritize her luxuries and travel plans while my mom suffers? My wife wants my mom to start dating and potentially remarry because she can't live alone due to financial and emotional reasons, but is that realistic for my mom?